go ahead and call tonight's Burlington Area School Board of Education annual meeting to order. And let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. Okay, next up on our agenda is the election of chairperson. Do we have any nominations for the chairperson for tonight's meeting?
Yes, I nominate Michelle.
Is there a second? Seconded by Richard. Any other nominations? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Review the ground rules. These are also in your packets, but I'll just go over this briefly. Electors' eligibility, every elector age 18 or older who resides within the district is eligible to vote at the meeting tonight. Doesn't look like we're going to have that problem. Meeting announcements, we've already done that. Speaking at tonight's meeting, electors wishing to speak must fill out a form before the start of the meeting. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Only qualified electors and district property owners can speak unless waived by a majority vote. Please keep your comments to the subject matter of tonight's meeting. If there is a challenge procedure, the person Hope County District Clerk may appoint tellers, call their district clerk, to assist the Hope County. Tellers will have proposed and signed sections and report the results to the clerk. Chairman will announce the final vote totals.
Mr. Chairman, who has the forms for
No those forms. Parliamentary procedure, the meeting will follow Robert's report. Legal services, the school district attorney will be available unless the Board of Education decides otherwise. Voting methods, paper ballots will be available. The chairman will determine the voting method, voice, hands, standing, or paper ballot. The vote on the original motion to approve the tax levy will be conducted by paper ballot. Next up, we will go into the superintendent's report.
All right, good evening, everybody. Starting to think from last year and this year, I think we might be a little green having on the board for next year. We all think it would be an option for us. My outfit. So, I'll move forward here with the superintendent report. For the board members, I did share this via email with you, so you should be able to pull the slides up. If you can't see them, then I would encourage you to just shift your chair a little bit if you're wanting to see the presentation behind you. I just wanted to be able to go over some highlights from the 23-24 school year. So starting first with BHS. BHS graduated 241 students this past year. Penny Yankee was nominated as the National Music Educator of the Year. Our German students presented at the State School Board Convention back in January. And then from that, there were so many school boards and superintendents that were super intrigued by the German program that we're doing here in BASD, that the state superintendent, Jill Ellerly, wanted to come and visit here in Burlington. And so that was a really cool experience for our students and staff as well. The high school team, 83% of all of our students in AP tests that were taken scored 3 or higher. Our goal was to hit 75% of all exams taken, so to hit 83 is a really awesome achievement. We also had a few firsts, so we had the very first job fair in partnership with Experience Burlington. We also had our first youth apprenticeship with Aurora Health, and our first senior internship with RDOG. Additionally, some BHS activity highlights was that we won conference titles in boys basketball, dance, girls volleyball, and wrestling. We also had state qualifiers in boys bowling, dance, FBLA, FFA, forensics, girls volleyball, ice fishing, individual wrestling, one-act play, and track and field. We also had 22 Southern Lakes Conference Scholar athletes, and we had 38 NIAAA Scholar athletes. When it comes to Karcher highlights, Karcher, we have 3 staff to recognize. Rod Stone was nominated and recognized as the 2024 Educators Award for Choral Music Instruction. Scott Salmi this summer was inducted into the Burlington Baseball Hall of Fame. And Ryan Hoffman was named Assistant Coach of the Year in the Wisconsin Baseball Coaches Association. Additionally, Karcher had their 2nd annual Karcher covered ball outing this past summer, and they were able to raise over $5,500 for the Karcher cover. Again, just to remind those in the audience and the board, the Karcher cover has been put in place to assist students with items that they may need throughout the school year at no cost to the student. And then some elementary highlights. Dyer was awarded the 2024 Do Good Wisconsin Cereal Box Domino Challenge. I happened to be there for that event, and it was the most cereal boxes I've ever seen in one spot together in my life. And 2, I couldn't believe that they literally all knocked each other down with no assistance, really. It was really cool to see that. Filled the entire gym floor. The students were extremely excited about that. We also continue to host the Safety Town over at Dyer this summer, and the Burlington Police Department did a fabulous job running that in partnership with BASD. And it also was our first time we've ever had the Flag for Life show up, and also for the students to be able to understand and see what the Flag for Life is all about. Cooper Montessori had their first year with 3 sections of 4K 5K. As you know, we intentionally shifted all of the Montessori students to Cooper on purpose so that we could grow that program over time. And this last year was the first opportunity to do that by having 3 sections of 4K 5K. Cooper Montessori also spent a great deal of time out at our Burlington School Forest. And every single Wednesday, a group of Montessori students were out there doing a lot of outdoor activities at our very own school forest. Additionally, Winkler celebrated 175 years serving with the community. Waller had a walkathon where they raised $9,808 for playground equipment and classroom supplies. At the end of the school year, Ms. Phillips promised that if they raised a certain amount of money, that she was okay being slimed. So I believe it was like millions of buckets of slime that was poured all over Miss Phillips. But she got those on, so that was good. And with those dollars, she was able to install 15 new swings in the Waller playground. Waller also hosted our holiday get-together for K-12 functional life skills students for the whole school district. And they also had the 3rd graders partner with their PHS varsity football game as the team at the high school merging their football buddies. WISCO, so Wisconsin Connect Charter School, it was this past school year, it was the very first year, as you know, that we were allowed to take open enrollments, because anytime you have an online virtual school, you have to be approved by TPI in order for that to be a charter school and to accept open enrollments. So this school year was our first year where we can allow open enrollments, and we ended this school year with 82 students in WISCO. 5 of them were graduates in 2024. FRC Consortium had a graduating class this year of 55 students, and it was their first year that they really focused on project-based funding, and 13 of our students pursued post-secondary opportunities. The PAT House, which stands for Public Active Citizen, where our students who are in special education between ages 18 and 21, are at our PAT House. We have 18 students who are in the program in 23-24. 5 of them were graduates this past school year. We're anticipating 21 students in the program this year. Last year, Amy Ann Holt was the first time she was the program lead. They raised over $2,900 their dog home business, so they make dog homes and sell them. And that $2,900 is used to have opportunities within the community. They also learn how to remodel a section of the pack house. You can see in the image on the very bottom right that is in the living room area and the students engaged in the remodel. WIN, Project WIN, stands for What I Need. It is our kindergarten through 12th grade special education program that is on the lower level of the district office. 2 of the students in that program transitioned successfully back to their home schools, so one of our schools in the district. 1 of them graduated this last year. 12 students are projected to be in the program this coming school year. And interestingly, just a cool fact is that Shannon Sonnenberg, who's our lead teacher in the WIN program, published a children's book in the last couple of months. You can purchase it on Amazon. And last but not least is Lions Center. So Lions had its last school year for quite some time, I imagine, having students in the building was this past school year. So the staff and students did a great job having a really positive and supportive culture through that transition of the school closure. Carissa Constein, one of our teachers, led the student council through memory blocks and planted a maple tree on behalf of Lions. And we're just simply so thankful for all the memories with Lions Center. Additionally, some district highlights. Our reading specialists have all been trained in keys for literacy. It's part of the expectation with Act 20 from TPI that all your reading specialists are trained first when it comes to literacy practices. You can use whichever training you would like. That they have a list of things that you can pick from. The one we believe is the strongest for our team is keys for literacy. We also utilized a new math resource last year in algebra, geometry, and algebra 2. We added an AP 3-Calc course at the high school. We also had 4 different teams of teachers engaged in a literacy academy at CC6. And we also received really strong academic scores, and we're excited to be able to share those once we get our score report cards in November. Additionally, in our first year, our Project Lead the Way curriculum that was infused into our elementary schools. This year will also encapsulate our kindergarten teachers as well. As if you remember, all of the opportunities for Project Lead the Way, K through 12, is through the grant opportunity with ARPA. They gave us $180,000. And you'll see, I believe I have it on another slide, that we were given another $80,000 for Project Lead the Way curriculum from ARPA. We had 373 students engaged in summer school, and we also had our very first camp innovation that was launched this summer with 36 students engaged in that program. It was a week-long STEM from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, and it was really awesome activities. My own kids engaged in that, and they came home with some of the most amazing projects that I've seen them come home with. Community education this summer had 60 to 70 students engaged in summer rec, and also we had over 100 camp offerings over the summer. I would be remiss to not bring up our strategic plan. So throughout the school year, we've been focused on our strategic plan with our 4 pillars of student, staff, finance, and the community. And when it comes to the student side, we have 5 goals. The first 2 focus on our 3rd through 8th grade students and how they perform on the state assessment, which is the board exam. The first goal relates to English language arts, the second to math. Our 3rd goal is to increase our ACT scores. Our 4th goal is to have 90% of all of our seniors aligned with at least one career path. And then our 5th goal aligns to a survey that we give to students, where we really learn how they feel when it comes to sense of belonging and things like that. And we really want to elevate elevate their experience as we move forward as well. When it comes to staff, we have 3 staff goals. The first is to increase our retention rate of staff. The second is to elevate our staff satisfaction, again, through a staff employment engagement survey. And then the last is to really ensure, which the board really wanted as part of the strategic plan, was to ensure we're hiring and have the highest possible quality staff for all of our students. And then when it comes to our finance goal, the goal is by 2029 to establish a minimum of a 20% general fund balance. Most school districts' fund balances are somewhere between 20 and 20% is the standard that they suggest. If our those on the finance committee remember analyzing that just a few weeks ago, and we definitely are below the norm when it comes to where school districts sit with their general fund balance. We also want to take it upon ourselves to ensure our schools and departments are really assessing and monitoring our budgets so that we can ensure that all of our dollars are really aligned to our strategic plan. And then last but not least is our pillar when it comes to community. So we want to ensure that we're really elevating parent perception within our schools. We also want to establish a minimum of 20 additional innovative community and business partnerships. That is one that we are well on our way of achieving that goal. We also want to ensure that we increase our community and family engagement. And last but not least, increase our overall student headcount by a minimum of 7%. So as we think about our strategic plan and move into the 24-25 school year, all of our principals, we have school improvement plans, our directors have plans, and we are all aligned to ensuring that everything that we do aligns to our strategic plan and the work that we committed to moving forward. Some additional highlights I'd like to give in relation to the 24-25 school year is that we will be celebrating the 50th year of BASD. This is our very own radio station that we are the only school district that has a 24/7, 365 days a year radio station in the state of Wisconsin. And again, celebrating the 50th year with them this year. We also will be engaging in new ELA resources from elementary school all the way through 10th grade, You recall seeing those materials and our teaching learning committee with the board really diving into those quite a bit. We also now have all of our elementary school staff trained in Project Leadway. That does encompass all of our kindergarten teachers. We're excited to be able to start our first ever welding academy at BHS. The welding academy is in partnership with Gateway. So Amy and her team have been working and Jess with the Wood Grounds has also been working hard to ensure that is ready to start the school year. I do believe we have about 14 students enrolled in the welding academy. That is about the number that they will take in this section. But it's pretty awesome that it's on site. If it wasn't, students would have to travel to either Elkhorn or Waterford in order to engage in that welding academy. As I shared just a few slides ago, we also received an additional $80,000 in grant dollars from ARPA to support Project Leadway and STEM initiatives across the school district. And then additionally, in conversation with NT Boyle with Experience Burlington, had a conversation about all of our strategic goals and the need to increase our partnerships and the desire to have conversations with more employers in BASD. And it was really cool because she initiated the Building Burlington Leadership Council, which has the top 10 largest employers in Burlington, which we are one of them. And in order for us to be able to collaborate and engage in conversation around the workforce and what we're doing about it collectively, and also housing for the Burlington area. Also in that meeting is the city's mayor, and also the town is engaged in that work as well. And I'll be sharing more information with you guys about some skills and traits that we've been working on as a collective group in regards what are we seeing are issues when it comes to workforce and how can we as a K-12 system improve that, but also I encourage pushing on that even further, that it's not just about the K-12 system needing to improve, how we interact with each other and how we, what characteristics and attributes we exhibit as human beings, but that adults in our system and in the Burlington area also need to ensure that how we interact with each other is in a positive way, and we're working on rolling that out not just for BASD, but across the entire community as well. So once we're ready to do that, I will share more with you on that. Additional partnerships, we have Miller Motors is donating a 2023 Lincoln Navigator to BHS Auto Program. We also have Lynch, who is willing to donate a shear machine, which will cost about $30,000 to $40,000 for our new BHS Welding Academy. Applied Material Solutions, they go by AMS for short, is going to help with a financial literacy simulation that we're going to call Project Reality, that will start in 7th grade this year and also help 8th grade next year as well. But it's pretty cool. EMS took it upon themselves that it won't cost the school district anything. They'll do all of the planning. A few things that they're doing, for example, is she's gathering job descriptions from all of the other businesses in the Billy Burlington Leadership Council of positions that they would have available. We would hand those up to students. Students would select a role that they want. They would get interviewed then by all of these different businesses as a mock interview. Be offered a position, and then move forward with maybe a rental house, buying a house, rent a car, buy a car, right? Getting me through life events. Again, all of it set up by Applied Material Solutions. Additionally, HJ Phelps wants to partner with us and team teach within our construction classes, and they also are willing to donate quite a bit of HVAC equipment as well in order to support students that are interested in going into the trades. We also have some work going on that I know you're aware of, and with an ADA work, so that is for Americans with Disabilities Act. So this started as a kind of pebble idea and has grown into a large mountain, if you will, but in a really good way, where Annie Phillips and the PTO over at Waller wanted to simply start out by trying to have some additional dollars for playground equipment in order to support our students with disabilities of having access to the playground as well. That has then rolled into working with the city and Racine County, and it has now developed into a project that is over $1 million is the goal to really put something in place. Once we get closer to it as well, there's a desire with the city to do a land swap between BASD and the city, with land between Waller and Dyer. And that is the end of the superintendent report.
Thank you, Joe. What a great work that you put into that, so we appreciate it. Next up is the review of the minutes for the 2023 annual meeting. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Is there a motion? Motion by board member. Is there a second by board member Strong? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? It is passed. Next, we'll move into the treasury report, which will be done by business and services team.
Jeff Garden is going to be presenting this session. He is working on getting his license in business administration. We thought this would be a good opportunity for him to be able to speak in front of everyone. Part of his class is to be able to present to the board about the budget. So he will be taking on the treasurer's report.
Thank you very much, I appreciate the introduction. All right, so tonight I will be reporting on the treasurer's report. report, which is essentially made up of three parts. It's our assets, liabilities, and fund balance. So we will start with our assets, focusing mainly on 6/30/23 audited account. So in assets items, these are items that we own or have the right to own or receive in the future. So this can include cash, but it also includes receivables or right to receive cash in the future after June 30th. So at the end of our fiscal year on June 30th, 2024, our total was roughly about $12.6 million. Now, for our liability, which is the next part, these are items that we owe or have to pay in the future past our June 30th deadline. So on 6/30/2024, we owe roughly about, or we have roughly about $5.1 million in liabilities. And then the last part of our treasury report is the fund balance. Now, this is not just cash. Cash is certainly a part of it, but there's certainly more to it than that. It's really your assets minus your liabilities. So again, the balance at the end of this fiscal year is roughly about $7.4 million. And then the last part, so our ending fund balance can be viewed as the difference between revenues and expenditures every year. So for 2023/2024, we had a deficit in our budget. Our total revenues equal roughly about $46.1 million, and our expenditures were $46.5 million. So that's roughly about $430,000 deficit that it reduced our fund balance by to $7.4 million from the $7.8 year ending last year. As Jill stated in our strategic plan, the next few years, our goal is to get to 20% of our fund balance, or of our expenditures, sorry. As of right now, we're at 15.9. So that's the goal to get up to 20+%. This does include the treasury report.
Thank you, Jeff. Next, we're moving to the presentation of the 2024-2025. That will be done by Director Shine.
Okay, so, all schools are based on what we call fund accounting. So each fund is like its own separate set of accounting records. And the purpose of each fund really has to stay within that fund. We can't cross funds with revenue sources and expenditures. So for example, if there are DM sales in Fund 50 food service, we can't use that money for special education. It has to stay in food service. So we'll go through all of these briefly, but just want to give that on introduction. Okay, so if we look at our revenues, we talk about like general fund, special ed fund. We're going to combine those because combine is really all the instruction that happens in our buildings. Okay? So total revenues for those combined are $47,054,000. And then if you look at that chart, the red and the blue section is really what falls under the state revenue limit formula. If you've heard of that, so it's the local property tax and our state general aid. So that's about 79%. Kind of going around, if you look at the green, that's state per pupil aid is another 5%, but it's outside of the revenue limit. The purple is the state special education aid, which is another 5%. So if you're doing the math, that's about 89% of our revenues are set by state statute. Okay? The teal is about 3% of what we get in federal aid, so pretty small piece of our budget. And then 8% is kind of the all other, so it's the, material fees to students and things. It's the athletic and activity fees, building and facility usage fees, interest income, all those other items. On the expense side, now we're still talking about general fund and special education combined, 47,512,000. As you can imagine here, the largest part is salaries and benefits, so that's the blue part of 70%. The red is 13%, which is tuition, if you will, so that includes open enrollment, out. Courses that are in high school that are dual credit, so students would get credit at either tech college or a four-year college, and also going to reasonable credit, and also private school vouchers. The green school transportation is about 6%. Purple, or these monkeys, materials and supplies, so classroom materials, office materials, custodial cleaning supplies, those types of things. And then the all other is 9%, which would be like utilities, technology services, building, repair and maintenance, all those are purchase services. Okay, wanted to just take a minute to talk about a little projection beyond 24-25. Here we're only talking about general fund. We're not combining the special education doesn't have a fund balance, the revenues and expenses always have to equal. So if we're just looking at fund balance, we're just talking about general fund. So if you're keeping track of the last two slides, the expenditures were more than the revenues. So we do have a projected deficit for 24-25 of about $458,000. Now, we did cut almost $5 million out of the building this 24-25 budget, as you probably know. But looking forward, even with that, the revenues do not keep up with the rate that the expenses are increasing. So that deficit will just continue to grow, and if we don't do anything in about 3 years, our fund balance will be gone. So there's a meeting tonight. After this meeting, for the board to talk about the possibility of operational background for next year. Please know that that is not a Burlington area school district thing. I think we're up to 85%, possibly more, of school districts in Wisconsin that ask an operational background question. So it's the new norm of part of state funding, school funding, to give us more control. And I'm going to share that with you. We're going to mix up the order of the funds a little bit, but it'll make sense as we proceed here. So Fund 21 is special revenue. That is for gifts or grants or fundraising efforts that the monies are donated to use for a specific purpose. So for example, we could be talking about the $185,000 that we graciously received from the Sullivan family for the Montessori reminding. That went to this one. Food service, pretty much what it talks about, the meal program. We participate in the federal program, federal lunch and breakfast, so we get about 2/3 of that revenue from the federal government. That fund is self-sufficient, it doesn't rely on any building budget or local tax dollars. Community education, pretty much what it sounds like. That's the, I think we're down to one book for the year. It gets out to the community, but otherwise it's online. So the education and recreational opportunities open to the community outside of the school day for all ages. that has to be accounted for separately. Fund 46 is called Long-Term Capital Improvements Fund. This is a way to slowly build up funds to help support bigger costs like maintenance or building improvement projects. So the idea is that you put a little bit of money in every year, so over time you can have that money built up to help support your annual budget for larger items. We did establish this 2 years ago, June of 22. So we currently have about 103,000. We were not able to put any money to that fund for 23-24. And you do have to have a 5-year waiting period before we can sign it. So 27-28 school year would be the soonest that we can tap into that. We have 2 debt service funds. Fund 38 is called non-referendum debt. It falls under the revenue limit formula, so it would take away from our Fund 10 budget or our instructional purposes, so we want to keep this to a minimum. We do have 2 homes. One, we will have the final payment this year in the spring, and then the second one is the final payment will be in 2029, so just a couple more years. And then we have the referendum group debt, which is from 2018. With the taxpayers group that was to build Berkshire, and then all the safety and building improvements that we did at all the other buildings. We've been levying extra the last 4 years and kind of prepaying that debt. That's called debt defeasance. So it's not over the course of the loan, it's not any more than we normally would have. It's actually less because we're saving interest expense going forward. It's just that we're levying some of that earlier than we could have to help save money in the long run. So far we've saved over $4 million in those 4 years. We'll talk about that in a little bit more coming up here, but we also, in those 4 years, are going to be able to reduce that final payment by 3 years. So 2039 to 2036. Okay, so tax levy. We talk about, one way to talk about this is like a tax levy for lots of others of equalized value, also called the mill rate. Kind of broken this down into 3 different parts here. The orange is the local tax that just falls under the normal revenue formula. The gray piece is from that 2018 referendum debt, and then that purple is the debt defeasance. So one use of debt defeasance is a tool to help have your tax levy have a steady trend. Okay, so that's how we've been using debt defeasance the last 4 years. It's still coming down, but it's still a nice trend. Maybe a little bit hard to tell, but that gray piece is also getting smaller because as we're prepaying, it's saving interest savings on. Okay. One goal that the board had for the 24-25 tax levy was to keep that mill rate the same. So you can see it's 692 versus 691. As far as the actual tax levy on, as I said, we would have that goal of trying to keep that mill rate the same. So we do levy for all the different funds. So the proposed total tax levy for tonight is $25,608,319. That's 3.85% over the previous year. Now it does also include another $4.8 million for additional debt defeasance. So that will continue to help save money in the long run. It will knock at least another year off of that final payment date. we're able to still do that and have, a reasonable mill rate and a reasonable tax levy and still support all these wonderful programs that we're able to offer. This is what we're going to be voting on shortly. But just, to keep that in mind. Okay, that does conclude the budget presentation.
Thank you, Ruth. Okay, next we're going to move to the budget hearing. This is for district residents of BASD for comments. When speaking, citizens should state their name for the record, speakers should keep their comments within 3 minutes or less. Officers speak. Comments that may be interest to school district personnel or other individuals will not be allowed. When possible, board may answer factual questions immediately or may provide a written response if information is not readily available. So, you have papers for folks to speak on? Whoever would like to speak here, we're welcome to come speak.
You can use this one here.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, my name is David Thompson. I live at 34411 Washington Avenue in the village of Rochester. I served as a school board member, as a public member for 10 years. Then I was an elected school board member for 6, 3 of which I was the president of the school board. So I'm familiar with what we do, and I wanted to tell you first of all that I appreciate very much the time and the effort and the thought that you put into the budget and to all of the other business managing the school board and the school district. And Taylor, I remember when you were a baby and you were 17 when you were first elected, so I got your number. Now, a couple of things, I want to make a couple comments about this is a budget hearing, so I want to comment on the budget. I want to keep it to the budget stuff. But I understand, as we said, you're going to be talking later on tonight about a referendum, and I think that is also related to tonight's budget vote. And so one of the things that I wanted to ask you to do, and I saw a little bit of money in there for community education. What I did not see and did not hear, of course, was some of the line items that would go into that. And so I would encourage you, as you administer this budget over this coming year, to ensure that community education efforts include educating the general Burlington community about the work that the school district does, the nature of the school district funding, which of course is complicated, and the need for managing a reasonable referendum and approving it. I feel that this is important. Over the last year, I know Jill did a great job of getting out there, and the other board members did a great job of getting out there and educating the public, but I don't think it was enough. So I think I would encourage you to really redouble that effort. The one other question that I have is I didn't hear anything about any tips and the status of any tips. So I don't know if, I've been out of school board funding forever. I don't know if there are tips that are still out there coming online, and I would be interested in just hearing your comment on that. If there are tips, when they might be coming on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time and your comments. Ruth, would you like to address them? Are there any tips or anything else like that? Say for Jill.
Oh, she definitely can address that, material. Sure question. I would have to double check, because I believe there's one left, which is the 83 South Corridor, and that has a ways to go yet. So I'm not aware of any other ones that are, but I would have to double check to verify that. Yeah, it's newer because it's that whole subdivision development, so it's a ways, but we can find out for you. The ability for them to build 315 housing units on 83, so I would guess that it's going to be for a while
next item is the resolution. So we're going to start with resolution A, which Treasurer Turk has, which is the adoption of the tax.
Resolution A. Be it here resolved by the electors of the Burlington Area School District duly assembled on this 26th day of August 2024, that the sum of $25,608,382 be raised by direct tax and property of the district for general school purposes of the ensuing year.
Okay. Ballots to be placed out. We have them. Please, once you've voted, you can pass those to Nora up front. But we do not want to. Okay, resolution B, which will be done by board member Hahn, reference the salaries of board members.
Be it hereby resolved by the electors of the Burlington Area School District duly assembled on this 26th day of August 2024, that the members of the Burlington Board of Education shall serve without pay.
Okay, resolution C, which is the reimbursement of board member expenses, will be done by clerk Ford.
Be it hereby resolved by the electors of the Burlington Area School District duly assembled this 26th day of August 2024, that the members of the Board of Education be reimbursed for expenses incurred in the performance of his or her duties or the performance of functions authorized by the board and the leave voucher.
Excellent, thank you. The final one is resolution D, which is to set the 2025 annual meeting date and time of location, read by board member Thompson.
Be it hereby resolved by the electors of the Burlington Area School District duly assembled on this 26th day of August 2024, that the members of the Board of Education be authorized to set the date, time, and location of the 2025 annual meeting.
Okay, thank you. Now, if you still need time to vote, please do, otherwise, Nora will go around and collect the ballots. Okay, well, this will be pretty easy. There's three analysts for each resolution, 22. So I think we'll fight for your time and work votes tonight. So it's pretty easy. All right, last item on the agenda is the adjournment. So I have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Member Brown, seconded by Board Member Overhead. All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed? Adjourned. All right, we're gonna recess, for 5 minutes.
There is an additional board meeting tonight, it's a special board meeting, in relation, one of the big items on the agenda is in relation to the operational referendum. Just wanting to share that in the event that anyone's wanting to stay.
Okay, let's go ahead and start our next meeting, which is a special board meeting. Just gonna call this to order at 7:29 p.m. And I will do the roll call since the board is not yet tonight. So, well, okay. let's go ahead and try this again. So we call meeting order at 7:29. We're going to do roll call, so I'm going to start at the end. Board member Strong, board member Overnight. I'm here, superintendent is here, vice president Brown, treasurer Turk, and board member Thompson. Our directors are down at the end there. All right, first item for action is district policies, so we'll go ahead and turn this over to Paul. He'll give a brief overview of all the policies that are listed as well.
So this is the second reading of these following policies. First one is policy 0166, and that is the agenda. We revised that so that approval for the meeting goes by. The next one that we have is policy 1240, which is the evaluation of the superintendent. We've made it so that there are two times that we will be reviewing the superintendent. One is formally, and the other one is as an informal. The formal one should come later than December 15th, and the informal will be no later than June 30th. That is the main change to that policy. The next one is 3112, which is board and staff communications. The change that we've made here is that the board superintendent will be CC'd on any complaints from the staff that may be directed towards the superintendent if this is contact with the board. Also, all other things that may be contacted to the board will be sent to the superintendent as a carbon copy as well. This just makes sure that everyone is along with communication. The next one is policy 3160, which is the physical examination for professional staff. We have revised that so that there is no more physical examination to onboard a staff member. The next policy is 4112, which is board to staff communication. This is similar to policy 3112. Same changes as listed before. The next one is policy 4160, which is physical examination for support staff. Same thing, no longer requiring a physical examination to be working. Policy 5451 is is the change to grading weighted to unweighted. This just aligns us with scholarship opportunities in college opportunities as well. And then policy 7250 is the commemoration of schools facilities. We have rescinded this one because it also coincides with policy 9700.03, which is naming rights. So we'll need to have extra policies there. So we just combine them. And that's all the policy changes.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Are there any questions or comments from board members on the policy changes as presented under the second reading? Sure. Or
Would be changes to policy, they all know suggestions, we typically follow the manual discussion in this time periods. These are second manual discussions.
Most of them work, but a few of them, like the evaluation of the superintendent, the agenda, and board staff communications, we have input on what the changes were.
I don't have any objections to the policies. The only question I have in the evaluation of the superintendent, what do we anticipate an informal evaluation? I like the idea that we can have a policy that we strive for an annual policy evaluation. What do you envision the informal evaluation?
I know we've been talking about this for the last couple of years, but my thoughts on what the informal evaluation is would be more of us to kind of check in with the superintendent. As a full board, I know that we each do that, one-on-ones, but I guess that was kind of my thought process, was kind of just checking in with the superintendent, seeing how things are going with her, with the district, and of course with the board overall. But I think we're open to any suggestions. I think that's what we're going to be discussing over the next couple of months, is what that looks like. So there's not anything set in stone. I actually really hope that we can all work together on this. I think it's really fun to do. Anyone else? Alex, questions, concerns? No? All right, this is item for action, so we are ready for a motion to approve policies as presented for second reading. Motion by board member Strong, second by board member Brown. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay. Next is the BHS academic year in America, which is an exchange student program. This is just simply enrollment request, and I'll turn this over to Jill.
Yeah, so anytime we accept a foreign exchange student, we have to have board approval to do that. We just had a recent ad, reach out of, the company to ask us if we would accept another student. She is coming from Germany, and she would be within our BHS student population for the duration of the school year. So just looking for board action to allow that foreign exchange student to join our BASD students.
The question was how many we have, and the answer was we have 6. Any other questions, comments? Okay, and this is an item for action. We are looking for a motion to approve the exchange student enrollment request as presented. Okay, motion by board member Coburn, second by board member Brown. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next is a resolution authorizing the Roman Area School District to exceed a revenue limit of $4.6 million per year for the next 3 years without any purpose. I don't really have anything on this, other than the fact that it's clear that this is needed. I think from a workshop standpoint, a lot of robust discussions, but I think everybody's heart is always going to be in place, and the fact that we definitely need to do this in some capacity. So, that's really all I have. I think we're just trying to figure out when the best time to go is. My thoughts are April. I think November is too soon. I'm publicly committed to the public that I believe that November is too soon, but that is just my own personal opinion. I'm not speaking for anybody else, but anybody else would like to speak on this topic. First, we'll start with the
It was just funny when school perceptions are implemented. We paid quite a bit to come up with an idea of when we should do this, and it's funny. I thought they said November.
So school perceptions, it does not give a necessarily recommended time frame. It was shared data with us in order to when the most frequent referendums pass. And referendums have the highest percentage of pass rate on a presidential election. Second highest is on either member of a non-presidential election, followed by April. So that's the data that we share, but we don't necessarily give one recommendation one over the other. What they did share was more in relation to our community survey, which we analyzed, and they gave their recommendation of what dollar amount to stay under, in regards to how much they think we can ask without it, not passing, right? So when they shared that a number around 4.8 or below, they do believe we pass their community based on our community's results. That was one of the things that they shared that would be, Yeah, that's statistical data, that's just across the state, not necessarily just with school perception, but, also with other companies, we tell you the same here, so the same thing. Yep, okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Treasurer Taylor, echo the comments you made about, I'm very pleased that we've been recently in a workshop and all the board members were united in that workshop. The concept that BASD needs to pass the referendum. We all agree that it's a matter of when, not if. We disagree, like you said, on the timing of when to ask the question. We have 3 to 3 and pass during that meeting, which I think we're trying to resolve tonight. That's the million dollar question. We were really smart to work with school perceptions to survey the citizens of the district. And we learned a lot from those results of school perceptions. We learned that the referendum should be non-recurring. And the voters who rejected the last referendum cited 2 primary reasons in the survey. The tax impact was too much, and the voters didn't trust the district to spend the money effectively. So I'm pleased that we listened to our citizens in the survey results and agreed that we're going to ask a non-recurring referendum question of $4.6 million per year over a short 3-year time span. This is a dramatic lower referendum ask in comparison to our last 2. The projected tax burden from this referendum will be much lighter than the prior 2 referendums. Further, the referendum is more of a short-term solution, which will give the district an opportunity to show the community that we continue to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars instead of money wisely. We recently, as Joe said, we adopted a strategic plan, and in that strategic plan, we are committed as a district to making data-driven decisions to achieve our goals. So regarding the timing of the referendum, I strongly recommend that we make a data-driven decision following the data provided by our experts, their school perceptions. And this data leads us to one conclusion, that we should go to referendum in November. Because it's a fact, just like Joe said, that referendums have a higher passing rate, and this is our top goal. By going in November versus April. November is an opportunity for us to have a better chance to pass a referendum. Also, I think as importantly, we need to support our staff and students, and they need certainty for you. We'll likely have to send out another round of notice of layoff notices if we wait till April. If we pass the referendum in November, we can plan, we can focus on our strategic plan, and work on improvements in the district. So I know we had a few board members who voted, expressed an interest to go to April. I'm going to ask you to reconsider tonight. Because I think even if you commit to the public, what's best for the school district is passing on our referendum. I know everyone at this table has that in mind. And I think that I'm confident that passing our referendum is critical, and we have a much better chance to do that in November if we would wait until April. But I have open minds, so other people have reasons why April is better. Let's talk about it. Okay, board member Thompson.
Thank you, Peter. I just want to emphasize pretty much everything that you said. I really, when we're looking at our strategic plan, we want to retain staff, we want to increase open enrollment. The longer we wait to have a successful referendum, the more staff that are going to be looking for other places where they feel secure in their employment. And we don't want to lose our staff. Our staff is amazing. We want to show the support to them by passing referendum. Additionally, families are not going to look to move into a district that is not adequately funded and is not capable of getting these referendums passed and needs to be passed. And we're waiting until April, again, we're losing out on that opportunity to show some stability and some security to people that might be interested in moving to the area. If we pass a referendum in November, we get to show that community support, which we know is there because of the surveys that we made to get the information from. We know the support is there, and we get to show that to everyone who passes the referendum in November, and then staff members can feel secure in their position, community members can feel secure in their choice to educate their children here, and anyone looking to join our district from outside can also feel secure
Anyone else? Board members?
My concern with going in November is that since the past two referendums didn't pass, we'd be banking it on having lower educated voters, because in a presidential year, you're going to have higher turnouts where there aren't as many voters that are keen on issues. And I think that we have a better opportunity having that longer time frame to give the public good reasoning as to why we're going to referendum. Show them that we did listen to their input on those surveys, and those are the people that are going to be voting in those spring elections rather than having less educated voters in November. And then also just using data that we had from the previous school year to show them how things are moving in the district. So those are just some of my concerns that I have with November. Like Anthony said, it's our goal to get this passed, and I understand that we've got some differences there, but those are just some of the concerns that I have.
Anyone else? Sure.
Yeah, no, I hear your points. I would argue the opposite though. I would rather see elections are very we vote turnout, right? And I think we should ask the question at the chance where we have the highest rate of turnout, and that'll be this November. Because that's truly democracy. We'll have the most people voting yes or no on our referendum. I know Joe's going to work extremely hard if we decide to go in November over the next 2 months to get the information out there. And she's already laid a lot of the groundwork by doing 1 million presentations leading up to the last referendum. So I'm confident people would be educated on the issues. That was cited as one of the lowest reasons why people voted no, was that they didn't have enough information. I really think it came down to just the tax impact was too high. That was the primary reason. I think we did a great job on the board figuring out how to address that. So again, I would urge you to consider, let's take the chance. This is our opportunity, I think, here. We passed this referendum in Archer during midterm in 2018 November. And, after failing going pretty bad in April. So why not give ourselves the best possible opportunity to pass it?
Also, you mentioned wanting to listen to the voters, but it seems like there's a divide on what to listen to them on, because they have said they support us, they have said that the tax impact is high, we can change the tax impact, the data tells us that they will support it. And instead, it seems like we're focusing on some of the lower priorities that the constituents brought up, right? So if we're listening to them about the issues that were most priority to them, that would be the tax impact, that would be, not including the education piece, that would be the least priority on that list. The highest priority was the tax impact and other things. And, yes, really the trust is in there, that's in the middle of that. Again, I would rather focus on what the community itself identified as the priority.
Anyone else?
Just clear something up. I mean, Peter, when he was giving his synopsis of the reasons why we didn't pass, the community trust was second highest on the list. So I would like to show the community more and possibly wait until April, because that gives us more time to clean up some of the stuff that we're still working on. secondly is they know they're going to tax impact. So listening to them would be maybe showing more improvements or changes. That's all.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just to clarify, it's split into two resolutions. So the first one is to pass that we want to go for a referendum, and then the second one would be to go in November, correct?
Technically, the reason that it's on here, in two steps like that is because if you decide that we're going to go to referendum in November, the resolutions have to be decided by tomorrow. Okay? If you decide to not go in November, you can still have a conversation tonight and take board action that you're wanting to go to a referendum in April. But ultimately, you would have to still in December come back with the resolution language that would be on the ballot to go forward in December. Does that make sense? And the resolution language is here because if you choose to go November, we have to have this resolution language approved tonight. The resolution language technically, if you want to go, does not need to be approved tonight. You could approve it, but not to put it on the November ballot, but we would bring the resolution back to you in December, because that's where you need to do it for April. Does that make sense? So you can decide tonight to say, I don't know where you're gonna go. If you guys decide to go November, then the resolutions are here, because tomorrow is the tournament, right? If you decide, I would do a joint meeting. Yeah. Otherwise, if you decide that it's not November, but you agree that it's 3 years, non-recurring, $4.6 million, you can all say, yep, we agree that's what it is, but we think we're gonna go in April, right? And then you would come back in December with the ballot language, which are resolutions. Make sense?
Is that good?
Then I move to, pass the resolution authorizing the school district to exceed revenue within by $4.6 million per year over 3 years for non-recurring purposes. And year one.
Are you setting a date or are you just passing it back?
That's just passing the resolution. I appreciate a separate motion.
All right. There's been a motion made. Is there a second? Okay, second by board member Thomas. Okay, so we are voting just on option C. Correct. We are not choosing the time to go that will next. Got it? Okay. This will be a roll call vote. So start with Noah. Roseanne? Paul? Marlo?
Yes.
Peter? Robert? And I am yes as well. Okay, so it's clear that we are going to be going for referendum. Now our the light and the reoccurring non-reoccurring purpose set. Now, is there a motion? Would somebody make a motion on that?
Yeah, I move that we adopt a resolution for the outright referendum and place on the November 2024 ballot.
Motion has been seconded, for roll call vote. Okay, so Noah? Okay. Lynn? And Paul? I don't know as well. Okay. Motion to pursue an operational referendum November needed for the three. Do you want some sort of language tonight, or do you want to, if you're saying to wait until December to grab that in case we make any changes? Okay, all right, so we're gonna make, motion, or we're gonna make a motion that we pursue option D as presented with going for a referendum in April 2021. Okay, there's a motion and a second by Paul, seconded by Marlo. There's a roll call vote. Okay. Paul. Oh. Okay. 6-1 to go to referendum in April of 2025 for $4.6 million per year for a 3-year non-rated grant. Thank you, everybody. The agenda is next week based, board governance, communication, personnel, is Wednesday, September 4th, at 1 p.m. That is closed session. We have a monthly school, September 9th at 6:30. We have policy at September 24th at 5:30 p.m. Teaching on Thursday, September 26th at 9 p.m. Around school meeting Thursday, October 17th, and the time is not listed. Sure will be listed. Okay, is there anything else for the good of order tonight? No? Okay. Make a motion to adjourn. Motion by Robert Brown.